Hi everyone, Keely Reason here, owner of Love Through Adventure, where I talk about the marriage relationship, intimacy in marriage, and how you can go deeper with your spouse. And today I'm talking a little bit about how sex changes for women as they age. I have a lot of readers who are getting older and they're seeing these changes happening, especially if as a wife changes with her hormones, where she may have had a lower libido at one point, it might actually skyrocket as she gets older and goes through certain hormonal phases. That's something to really think about when it comes to sexual arousal, is often connected to hormones. I had another video. I talked about how men's decrease of hormones can actually make them feel less ready for sex and less aroused. If a woman's hormones are spiking, especially leading up to menopause, and hormones and menopause is just kind of all over the map. Sometimes she's up, sometimes she's down, sometimes she's just confused. However, as hormones change for women, they may develop more desire for sex, which is kind of interesting because a lot of times husbands desire less as they age. So sometimes it creates a tipping of the scale, if you will. Maybe a husband was more spontaneous, more erections and arousal earlier on in life, and that sort of like reduces as he gets older, which can be confusing to him. And maybe a wife was not as aroused more, as often and spontaneously, but things change, and now with her hormones getting different, she is starting to initiate more and do more. It is very common as women get older that they do crave sex more. There's a lot of reasons behind that besides just hormones. Oftentimes, women who are older, they've gone through all the childbearing years. They're not in the throes of being mom and thrown up on, and they are actually getting to a point where they are sort of like reclaiming themselves. They are not just mom to these kids and wife to the husband or whatever. Their identities begin to change. They have more freedom to take care of themselves and do some self-care. They have more time in a lot of cases. They can be fun and flirty again because they're not bogged down with this many responsibilities. So it can be hormone changes, it can be life shift changes for them that help them to feel more desire and more, more spontaneous arousal, and just more mental space. So, if you are a wife whose libido isn't getting higher as you're getting older, a couple of things to think about. One, get your hormones checked. It could be that your hormones are not optimal, they are declining. You need to have some blood work drawn and deal with those hormone imbalances. Maybe there's some other things going on. It is not to say everybody has a greater sex drive as they get older that are female, but a lot of women do. So that is some things that change. Now, something else that changes is just generally the sensation. I have had a lot of readers tell me that basically their clitoris gets a lot more sensitive during this time, and so it becomes a struggle with orgasm because they are getting overstimulated much faster. The kind of stimulation that they were having before, it just feels different. Maybe it hurts, maybe it's too much, maybe it's not enough. This is also going to change with your cycle. So in these cases, you should try different things. If you haven't previously used vibrators, consider adding them in. If you have used vibrators and they're bothering you, get a different vibrator. Not all vibrators are created equal. They have different motions, different goals, basically. If it's overstimulating you, find a vibrator that has a lower setting and has a different kind of pulse that you might like better. It might mean burning through some money to pick the one that works for you, but don't think that if something wasn't working for you before, that nothing will ever work for you again. It's nothing wrong with you, but your body will change as you get older and as you put on weight or as you lose weight or any number of things. Don't feel discouraged by it. Just embrace it as a continued journey that you're on with your spouse. I believe in some ways God has designed us to have all of these different changes in our sex because then it keeps us continuing on that journey. How can you even stay bored if things are always changing on you? You're looking for new ways to enjoy each other and to stimulate each other. Guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I look forward to chatting with you next time, and don't forget to sign up for my newsletter, lovehopeadventure.com/newsletter. Chat with you later.